Hey, Coach Kyle here, and this is coaching log for, what's the date? December 18th. And I wanted to read through an exit interview that an athlete of mine submitted. And I have athletes that I work with submit exit interviews whenever we end our coaching relationship. And typically this occurs when a goal race that we've been training for is reached. So often with individuals, I would say it's 50-50. Some people I work with just continuously, and some I work with just towards a big goal event like a marathon. And this guy actually, I worked with him one-on-one for a while, and he actually recently emailed me to work together again, but just with the rundown where it's a custom training schedule. Not like one-on-one real personal coaching. But this is the exit interview that he filled out when we ended our coaching relationship in the past, and I just thought I'd read through it quick. So the first question is, in 1 to 3 sentences, can you describe any reservations that you had before we started working together? And he said, I was concerned about making a training plan fit around my schedule and doing too much too soon versus not being prepared. My question is, in 1 to 3 sentences, can you explain how I was able to help you with your reservations? And he said that I did a good job coming up with a loose schedule that was adaptable. Then I ask, can you list what specific changes you've achieved through training with me? And he says, successfully completing training for my first marathon, got over my injuries and made it to the start line in peak condition. Finish in a better time than I expected. Then I ask, what did you enjoy about training with me? What would you have changed? He said, I like being introduced to different kinds of workouts. Your website and YouTube channel have a lot of good information. You are pretty accessible and responsive. The strength training workouts were good for me because I probably wouldn't have done them if they hadn't been on my calendar. That's the one thing I see most people who come to me for coaching experience is doing strength work. If there's one huge commonality between runners, it's that they don't do any or enough strength work, but mostly it's any. I would have liked more communication about the purpose or thinking behind why you picked which workouts to do. Also would have liked to see a high-level plan for the whole training cycle leading up to the race, calling out intermediate goals, phases, rough targets, etc. And this is one thing that I'm kind of aware of that I need to do better. And like when I don't really write out a huge, when I'm working with athletes one-on-one, like on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, I don't really write out a huge long training schedule for them. I update their schedule weekly or bi-weekly. And I see the progression, but I understand that, I mean, it's up here. And I understand that for somebody on the other end, the receiving end, it might make more sense for me to explain it further. Because, I mean, I get it in my head, I see it, but for somebody who's getting the training, I think I know I need to do a better job of saying, like, okay, we're in the introductory period. Okay, we're moving on to the fundamentals, etc. And then I asked, do you have any constructive criticism for me? And he just says, again, I wanted to learn more about the why of training, to be able to take a step back and understand how this workout fits into the bigger picture. And like I said, like I see it, especially because I write things out first on a spreadsheet and then move them to Final Surge. So it's super easy for me to see the progression and how everything is moving towards the goal race. And I definitely know that I can do a better job of this with my clients, telling them, like, here is how this workout, this week, this month fits into the big picture. So if you don't do a exit interview for your clients, no matter what your service is, I highly recommend you do something like this. It's just a Google form that I email them and they fill out, and it's good for both people, I think. So yeah. If you don't have an exit interview, I highly recommend implementing one.